Standard motors in an RC drift car are a 540 can motor, but is there anything that says that we can't actually use a 380 size motor in these drift cars? That's what we're here to look at and test and find out today. Like, why are we using such a big motor in a car that usually is on a hard surface with a hard plastic tire? Maybe we don't really need all this torque. What if we used a 380 sized motor? So this is a 10.5 turn, just like the 10.5 turn from the Hobby Wing, but yet it is a 380 size. Look how much smaller it is. It is still a censored brushless motor, still 10.5 turn, but is just noticeably smaller. Maybe that's actually a better fit for drifting, so that is what I'm going to do today. I'm going to take out the 10.5 turn motor that I have that's a 540 that's in there now, and I'm going to put in the 380 size just to see if it works or not. If you follow the channel, you'll know one of the things I'm very passionate about is helping people get started in RC drifting, but also getting like all the weight out of my RC drift cars. So I want them to be as light as possible, and that's one of the things that drove me to wonder about this with the size of the motor. So as an example, this Hobby Wing Bandit, it alone is 182 grams. If I take the 380 size motor instead, 97. We're basically half. We have basically almost halved the whole weight of just the motor alone. That is a huge weight savings to the car if you can have it. Now, before I swap the motor out, I'm actually going to do just a little testing, a little driving, so you can see how the car drives right now with this. I actually have the RevD Absolute 1 10.5 turn motor in the car. So I'm going to drive a little bit with it in there so you can see what it looks like and how it drives before we swap in the 380. Now, a few of you already probably know what I ran into as I tried to do this. The 540 can motor bolt pattern is actually not the same as that of a 380, which means the factory motor mount plate won't actually work. So I had to make one myself. So fortunately I had help from some of our kind friends there at Red Cat to help get me started on my journey here. And I was able to then actually 3D print one. Now let's be very clear, probably 3D printed motor mounts, probably a bad idea in the long run. Probably a good idea to get something like this made out of the carbon fiber or something instead, so that it does stand up a little bit more to heat and you don't melt the thing. But for now, it's a proof of concept, and so we will then be able to bolt this up and see, does it work, does it not? The motor is in, and oh my gosh, it kind of looks tiny in this space. It looks good though. Hobby Star motor looks absolutely gorgeous with the like kind of the goldish kind of showing through on that aluminum case and everything. I will say we all do need to say a silent prayer for my spur gear, because my motor mount, 3D printed motor mount, not the strongest thing in the world. It has a little bit of flex. So if it flexes the wrong way based on torque on the motor, like I could easily see stripping this spur gear and being really sad really quickly. So we're going to keep our fingers crossed that that doesn't happen and this motor doesn't get hot enough to actually start really weakening up that motor mount. I'm going to have to really look into what I can do to get it made out of some different materials for sure, if this works and I want to keep it long term. But my Gens Ace Redline battery is in, everything is ready. Let's give it a test. I just took like 80 grams off the back of my car. And does this motor have enough oomph, doesn't have enough torque. Is it good enough to be able to pull around or not? That's what we're about to find out. A lot of this is actually helped by the members that go and support the channel at a deeper level. Thank you to the members that are around here. So color me surprised, but that absolutely just worked. Absolutely just worked. Like, I think as a community, we need to consider what it takes to put 380 motors. Can we get someone like Rev D, Yokomo, somebody like that, Hobby Wing, to start making some better 380 motors? Because there's not a lot out there. And control, it's completely there. The sensor brushless setup still gave me the power that I needed, still gave me the control that I needed. I probably need to tweak timing on it just a little bit because I don't know what the factory timing is set in the motor. It's a non-adjustable can. So everything that I'm going to do from a timing standpoint is going to be in the ESC through the sensor. So it did feel like it probably had a little bit less timing in it compared to where I was running on the can with the Rev D prior, but like that really worked, folks. It really seriously works. I'm going to get to figuring out how I can get that motor mount to be made out of something like carbon fiber or something like that again. That would be really nice to get that strength back. So that is great. But yeah, who would have thought? Who would have thought you could actually do 380 motors in a drift car? It works. It saves like over 80 grams, almost 90 grams off the weight of the whole vehicle. That's like 10%, just a little bit less than 10% of the weight of this whole car just disappeared, which means it's now going to accelerate better. It's going to brake better. It's going to corner better, all because we just took the weight off of it. That is absolutely awesome. It actually makes me wonder, now that I've taken that much weight off, do I want to convert this back to a mid motor instead of the rear motor? Like, I might legitimately want to go do that again. All that, which means all my body mounts and everything are all in the wrong place if I do that. So more to come, more to come on this, but this has potential, folks. It really does. I hope this was eye-opening for you. If you are curious at all about any other of the drift stuff that I have done, there is a playlist over to your right. Thanks for watching. We will see you in the next video. Goodbye.